So recently, I was having a conversation with some coworkers regarding deadlifts and regarding the actual setup position. And we were talking about some of the finer points of deadlifting, grip width, setup within the feet and the stance, hip position, and then we also kind of talked through what pulling the slack out of the bar means. And I have some other videos on that on the channel if you're interested. But one of the important things that I wanted to really reiterate, which got me thinking about this video, is the actual structure of your setup of the deadlift and how it relates to working sets or even 1 rep max attempts. Specifically, when you're going to set up for a deadlift, it's very similar to if you watch NBA players before they make a free throw, baseball players before they step in the batter's box. All of golfers especially, all of these different sports have a specific ritual or a specific setup, checklist that they run through in their mind, and they're going to do that before practice swings, they're going to do that before actual pitches if they're a baseball player, or before the first tee if they're a golfer. And you want to take the same sort of mindset to your deadlift as well. And the reason why this gets forgotten or even misconstrued is as the weight gets heavier and heavier, a lot of people just simply think, well, I got to pull as hard as I can and try to break it off the floor, and then I'll get to a lockout. Which is true, your speed off the floor is often one of the more important factors of a conventional pull. And in sumo, a lot of times guys get stuck at lockout, relatively speaking. But with any pull, sumo or conventional, you need to have that checklist so that when you walk up to a maximal attempt or even a really heavy work set that you've never hit before, it doesn't matter whether you're one of those people that loves to just get psyched, shake the bar around, whatever your routine is, that's fine. But you just have to be consistent with that routine. Because I see a lot of people when they step up to a pull, they'll be fine, they'll have the arms out in front of the arms overhead, whatever you like to do. And then as soon as you throw on 4, 5, 6 plates, whatever it is, the PR that they're going for, then all of a sudden, when they set it for that pull, they're all over the place. As soon as somebody starts doing that, most of the time, in my mind, at least the lifters that I've seen, they miss the pull. And we're not going to talk physiology in terms of the actual implication of mild hyperventilation, but it's just mentally, they have checked out at that point and the weight has already beat them in their mind. So I talk a lot about self-efficacy, and it's very important to visualize yourself taking the lift and finishing the lift before you actually do it. But similarly, from a physical standpoint, you need to have that set up in your mind that you run through every single time you get your breath down to the bar, and then whether you like to pike your hips and then come back down, or just get a second breath. Whatever it is, every single time, setup, execution, it's got to stay consistent. Or else, when you get to those maximal weights, there's a higher chance that you're going to miss them. It's not a guarantee, but there's definitely a higher chance. The more consistent you are in your practice and your sub-maximal repetitions, the more consistent you're going to be with those heavier weights. You'll be able to maintain position, and then when you hit that sticking point, you'll be able to grind through it, and you won't lose neutral spine in the midst of that position. So, remember, setup is key. If you set up in a good position, you're going to finish in a good position.